All right, so welcome, guys. Obviously, the presentation a couple of days ago came out, and well, the devs have dropped something extra. I got Boots here
Hello.
to read it. Hey, Boots, we've got a magazine, right?
A magazine.
That's all I really know right now. So you caught the presentation the other day, right? The Icebrood announcement.
Yeah, I did.
And how did you feel about it? Were you really positive? You looking for information? Well, because I haven't spoken to you about it yet.
Yeah, I think like lots of things, I mixed feelings. You know how it always is.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
like,
Yeah, I'm kind of in that place too.
Yeah, everything I saw about the living world looked pretty good, but I also kind of wanted some more information. I think a lot of people felt that way.
Well, one of the things, right, is some of us are kind of miffed because, is this fully replacing expansions? If sagas are replacing expansions, sagas are going to be good, right? So we want that information. For what it's worth, guys, there was an independent quote that came out recently. ArenaNet said that expansions are still on the table. Now, that's huge. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But basically what's happened here, Boots, is the presentation, and now we've had news. The devs have faked, like an old school, I guess, like early 2000s, late 1990s, like video game magazine, and it's all Guild Wars related, and it's all Icebrood related. Seriously. So check this out. Hit the link I gave you. We've got a page here. This is the release page. So this is like what they usually... Yeah, this is what they usually throw up to generally introduce a release, right? Do you want to read it, or should I read it?
The release? You can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so the prologue, Bound by Blood, we know that already. And they say the Icebrood Saga's prologue episode, Bound by Blood, arrives on September 17th, not long away. You'll find plenty of details to dig into in this digital magazine. So this is a totally different take to what they did with Living World. Can you imagine we get a digital magazine every release? This is going to be weird.
That would be weird, yeah.
Take a tour through Grothmar Valley, which we already know, by the way, is the new map. We heard that on the presentation. Get a sneak peek at Timey's treaties on the Elder Dragons. Treaties, and make some of the major players you'll encounter. Meet some of the major players you'll encounter as the story begins. To navigate through the magazine, use the arrows to go backwards and forwards. So check it out. There's a magazine. All right, so let's download this. Okay. And there should be a lot of information. Everyone watching this on YouTube, we'll walk you through it.
Oh yeah.
Neither of us know what's in here, guys. Neither of us know.
Well, that's not entirely true, because I did see one of the devs not one of the devs retweet. I saw one of the devs tweet about something they wrote in it, and I read it, and it was really funny. Oh,
are you gonna bring us in the loop when we get to that in a second?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how do we take this? September 19th, written at the top. You're looking at the page 1 right now, are you?
Yes, I am.
Jeez, they put a little barcode on there.
Oh, it's really high quality.
Is it really high quality? It feels a bit grainy to me, but
well,
is that just the effect they're going for?
Because you're really zoomed in, but if you zoom out all the way...
Okay, well, I've just got it fit to page for now.
Okay.
So, party with Banger, the Blood Legion homelands. Don't be a tourist. We take you to the Grothmar Valley like only the Blood Legion can. Apparently, they did like a little Twitter teaser as well. Have you seen that? Apparently, it was like a party or something that they've shown.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're all engines firing. They really are. So what
is
does
it like
say?
a char? Like the? Are you talking about the char rock party that was shown in the teaser thing from the release thing?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I think it's more though. I think it's something different, but it's kind of like because this is a party release, right? And I think they have a teaser. Anyway, people, you go and see another video on that if I do that, guys, going forwards. But what do you think? So, what is inside this? An interview?
I don't know. Okay, well, it's a mock-up. It's a mock-up promotional thing, I think, right? Like this is for. This looks like a mock-up thing, so I feel like it's gonna be a mock-up of everything. Like I don't think they're gonna have any additional information than they had in the release.
No, they do. They do have additional information.
Really?
They really do. They go further on strike missions and stuff. Seriously.
Oh.
That's what I've heard about this. So look, you got an interview with creative partner Mike Nash, counterpoints, insights from Gorick. So there's lore here.
Okay.
Iron Legion's brutal destruction derby, and then what's this love heart down here? What's going on there? Love and war in Snargle Goldclaw sizzling new love. Hold on, Boots. Do you remember the end of the most recent episode 6? Do you remember there's that book, that like fan fiction love book?
Yeah.
Is that what this is that they're hinting at on the magazine?
The last one? I think yes. I think so. I think that might have something to do with what I read in the tweet from the dev.
What's that saying in the bottom left as well? What is that?
Metal Legion melts faces with new album. Oh, okay. So, wait a second. Is the band that we see in that trailer thing, the Metal Legion, is that their name?
Oh, that's a good name for them, the Metal Legion. I wouldn't be surprised. I actually did a video based on some consumables in Guild Wars just the other day, and I realized they have a thing in there called the Trash Legion as well, the Garbage Legion.
Oh no, poor guys.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. All right, okay, do you want to go to page 2?
Yeah, sure. Oh, and they even have like subscription things and oh man, the old-fashioned inserts and stuff like that.
Oh wow, yeah, they're faking the whole lot. Can you imagine if someone prints this out properly?
Yeah,
So,
I think I think you can.
It's no subscription required. Play Guild Wars 2 for free today. And what? You would just pass that to people? I don't get it. It's like a postcard.
It looks like it also has like it was printed. Sorry, it was made so that it has like magazine creases in it already.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And that again, the thing on top, that's like supposed to be a separate piece of paper we're looking at, right? On the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so we got a shot from the trailer with the code in and the arrows. I think that is literally from the trailer. You got the eagle. I mistakenly called that a raven. My bad, everyone. It's an eagle.
You should be feeling bad about that.
Look at the really classic Buy Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire like button they have then.
Is it an eagle or is it a hawk though?
I don't know, dude. I think a lot of people said eagle to me. Maybe it's a hawk. I don't know. Jesus, this text is small. Do you want to read this text on the bottom left for everyone?
Sure. On August 30th, Guild Wars 2 fans joined us in the Moon's Theater.
The Moore Theater.
More theaters. Yeah, holy crap. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Hold on a second. Okay, that's why. In the Moore Theater, Seattle, for some exciting news, a new Living World story, the Icebrood Saga, begins on September 17th in 2 weeks. Along with the world premiere of the season trailer, we shared information about the seasons featured and our upcoming partnerships with Dark Horse Comics and Funko. This isn't part of Dark Horse Comics, so is it? No.
Dark Horse Comics are doing the art book thing, the 20th anniversary.
I don't think this is tied in any way.
No.
Missed an announcement. You can watch it all on our YouTube channel, but there are some details we didn't get to share yet, especially about the prologue episode, Bound by Blood. If you're hungry for information on what's coming soon, here's a little more meat.
Oh, this is quite clever. We're basically just reading a blog post, but it's more exciting.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, they also say Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns is free with Path of Fire. That's true. I probably should have talked a bit more about that. And the bottom right, we've got the cooking unlocked. Try not to get burned.
Which looks like an ad. So all of these are kind of looks like ads in a magazine.
So this is curious, right? Probably they had this prepared for ages. Do you think that they did Ascended Cooking? Originally, it was planned to come with a prologue, but they had it done. So they're like, screw it, let's do it early. Or what do you think?
That's a good question. When I think about what they're trying to do with the saga, releasing a lot of new stuff that they wouldn't normally release in a season.
Yeah.
In my mind, they should have waited with the cooking to release it with this to make it feel bigger.
Yeah, no, I agree, because that's exactly the kind of thing they can expand a release into. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's possible that because of everything that happened this year, they felt like they needed to get stuff out to keep people interested before something else comes.
Maybe, yeah. Or once we see the prologue is done, you might find like the Dueling 500 update. That will be a part of the saga. You know, they'll like find a way to integrate it more meaningfully into the story, kind of thing. You know.
Yeah.
Same with all the current events things and so on. All right. So let's see next page. All right. Power. Oh, okay. So they're doing adverts. Breaking news: the Flame Legion is taming the sacred flame at their camp. Hold on, what does that mean?
Where is that?
It's written sneakily at the bottom of the previous page in the mountain thing. The Flame Legion is taming the sacred flame. Wasn't the sacred flame what Gaharan was going to revive himself with in COFP1? Wiki Sacred Flame.
Okay, I will wiki Sacred Flame.
Throw that up. I think that's what that was. That was that giant thing that you fight there, and they were going to bring Gaharan back to life. Either that or it's some of the magic they used to create their flame forged and whatnot. But I think that was what the Sacred Flame was, wasn't it?
Oh, hold on a second. Can you really go to Flame Legion? I'll look up.
If you just type Sacred Flame into Wiki, I'm sure.
I did. In the Wiki? I looked up Guild Wars 2. I'm on search, and we got Flame Bearer. We've got Mausoleum of the Khan-Ur. Citadel of Flame. Sacred Object. The Eternal Flame.
Oh, is that what I'm thinking of? The eternal flame.
Maybe it's the same thing. It could be the same thing.
Oh, that would mean that the Flame Legion are looking to revive someone again, maybe? That would be an interesting side.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, the next...
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Yeah. The next full 2 pages. So they've spent half of it on an advert. Power up your play space. And, you know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cute. It's kind of 90s, right? I get it. You know, you've got the big old CRT there and so on.
Yeah. Was this one of the things that they advertised in the show?
So you've got
For fans, by fans?
Maybe. Actually, I don't think so. I didn't see a water bottle. I didn't see a mug, and I didn't see a plushy kind of Aurene, right? I didn't see a cuddly toy. So that seems all new. What do you think about this? Have they made this advert fun enough that we're not miserable about it? You know, because I was miserable. I was miserable about... Yeah, I did not like that. I
agree that wasn't the right place for it. But with this, I'm not as unhappy about because you're in a magazine and magazines had advertisements.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it? And I mean, if people want to buy it, then they want to buy it. You know, ultimately, I do want Guild Wars to do well and to sell and to make money and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, I think that's fine. So, yeah, that's just telling you go to Guild Wars 2 for fansbyfans.com. All right, so it looks like on the other half now, we've just edited it here. Boots and I just read ahead, and we were reading
this interview, and it's just like, yeah, it's a nice interview with a creative partner, but I don't think it's something that we need to read to you guys as though it's like part of lore or anything.
Yeah, looking through this, guys, it's a nice interview with a creative partner, which anyone could be, so it's nice that they kind of show that off. You never know, Boots, next release, they might have an interview with you, right? It could be the Wild Event. And then you're going to feel bad that we don't read it, you know?
yeah, actually, I'm going to force you to read it if I have an interview in this.
So, by the way, that Joko in the background, it's cool to see Joko on an Icebrood magazine. I doubt it means much. Do you think that that's just art that this guy made? Mike Nash
probably.
Made?
It's probably something he drew.
He's really good, right? Jesus Christ.
This is gorgeous, yeah.
But yeah, you guys can check out the magazine yourself or you know, pause the video and look through. It's mostly to do with his artwork and stuff. It's not really to do with Guild Wars. But I like that all the text is there. You know, I like that there's a body of stuff. It's kind of a shame that the first article, so to speak, we're kind of skipping here.
Yeah, but really, I do kind of like it because I think it is a bit of a getting the word out there for the Creative Partner Program. And you never know, because like some of these people might just break it into the business because of this kind of thing. Yeah,
definitely. All right, well, so that's the next 2 pages. Check out him on Fans by Fans merchandise collection. All right, moving on. All right. Oh, so we get lore. Okay, this is looking like a big article.
This looks like lore of some kind.
Okay, so on the left, it says Bound by Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look. It looks like some kind of recap about the story of Tyria, where it is. And on the right, we have, recap on all the Elder Dragons. Oh, nice. Why is redacted information there? Okay, which bit do you want to read first?
Wait, I'm trying to... The Water Dragon. They don't name it yet. It's not Steve. They didn't write Steve. Okay, Bound by Blood. Let's start with the left.
Okay, all right. So I'll do the left, and you're gonna read the dragon lore.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Even at the beginning, or so they say, there were dragons. Oh, this is cool. This is like what I do with my lore videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bit like what the original Guild Wars trailer did. Even at the beginning, or so they say, there were dragons. 6 of them. Colossal forces of nature, jaw-droppingly huge in size, all intimately connected to the flow of magic in Tyria. Although their true function has yet to be fully understood by the Tyrian people, those people know their biological rhythms. The elder dragons sleep until they become hungry. They awaken and devour magic until they are sated, and then they slumber once again. For tens of thousands of years, Tyrians have built civilizations upon their backs, only to be destroyed or displaced at the onset of the next cycle. In this way, the elder dragons are comparable to the natural extinction events of our own planet. Oh, this is weird. So, this is not an in-universe piece of writing. This is someone on Earth typing this about. Interesting. I thought we were going like, you know, in-universe a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're comparable to the natural extinction events of our own planet, but with one key difference. Unlike the world-ending asteroids and dormant supervolcanoes that threaten Earth, the Elder Dragons of Tyria are sentient. Interesting. I like how they blatantly point out that sentience. Because that's something that they were dicey about for a long time. And it's becoming increasingly clear that they might have an agenda. Well, hold on, we already established the agenda. Anyway, during an agenda beyond magic, let's go that way maybe. During the course of Guild Wars 2, players have already faced off against 3 of the 6 Elder Dragons. Zaitan, the Elder Dragon of Death and Shadow, was the first to fall in the final chapter of the core game's personal story. Next was Morgemoth, Elder Dragon of Plant and Mind. Players beat back its slow, tangled creep across Tyria in Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, culminating in the dragon's eventual demise and an explosion of magic with lasting ripple effects.
I have a question.
Yeah, go on.
Zaitan, the Elder Dragon of Death and Shadow?
Yeah, it has been since Season 2. Season 2, there was a Priory lecture that described him as Death and Shadow, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, not cold.
No, not cold.
Okay, got it.
That would definitely be more Jormaggy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know whether we have, like, the facets of all of them yet. I don't even know what that really means, to be honest. I don't know why we focus so much on Death and Shadow or whatever. Anyway, we learned that the Elder Dragons, or at least the roles they play in the magical ecosystem, are essential to the long-term survival of life on Tyria. Unless replacements for the remaining Elder Dragons are found, no more can be killed. Fortunately, we now have Aurene, granddaughter of Kralkatorrik, also known as the Elder Dragon of Crystal and Fury. Hello, Crystal and Fury? I don't remember them ever saying he was Crystal and Fury.
It is now.
Is this canon? I mean, maybe, I guess. It's
guess
weird
so.
because it's sort of like, how can it be a part of the canon when it's not even an in-universe perspective arc? Anyway.
It's canon now?
It's kind of like talking about the canonicity of like external developer interviews and stuff, right? But Crystal and Fury, type in the comments, guys. Am I just a fool? Or have we heard Crystal and Fury already? Is that the first of Crystal and Fury? Anyway, and the only dragon to be raised by mortals. Wait. What?
Yeah, we
Kralkatorrik. Oh, Aurene raised by Moors. Players hatched Aurene from a crystalline egg, guarded and nurtured her when she was a hatchling, and fought by her side as her champion during Living World Season 4. They helped her bring Kralkatorrik down, out of the sky, and ended his life so Aurene could absorb his magic and take his place in the Pantheon as the Elder Dragon of Light. So she has a different kind of title. Elder Dragon of Light. Explicit reference there. Or, as some Asuran scholars prefer, the Prismatic Elder Dragon. I like that, actually, because, you know, if I think about that last cutscene with all the lights being split apart and stuff, you know, I think of, you know, Prismatic works well. The Icebrood Saga picks up right where the Season 4 left off. 3 Elder Dragons down, with 3 more to go. Of the survivors, at least one has taken notice of this new status quo and decides to do something about it. See, again, they said this on the presentation. What do you think about this, Boots? They're not really talking about Jormag being asleep and how Jormag wakes up. They're just saying that Jormag has decided it doesn't like the status quo. That exact phrase appeared on the presentation. Do you have any thoughts on that? Will we get a story about the sleep, or...?
That's a good question. Like, well, first of all, I did hear also on one of the... Didn't they talk about how Bram had an expedition up to the north and it went badly?
Yes, they did, yeah, at the presentation. But in game, we kind of got it. They've been kind of weird about exactly what happened and how and why and stuff.
Yeah. So we all assume that it's because, well, we also what's her name? Timey said that Jormag was asleep, right?
Yes. Yeah. And we saw Primordus definitely. You know, Flashpoint. We saw
Primordus go back to sleep. Yeah. So either they're gonna tell us a little bit more about that easily, like say Jormag's awake now, maybe, or maybe not awake. Maybe he's just speaking in his sleep to other people.
Yeah, I think you're right, because to go on with the sentence before we go too crazy, Jormag, Elder Dragon of Ice and Persuasion, hibernates beneath the snow in the far Shiver Peak Mountains, dreaming about the Tyria that could be at the expense of the Tyria that is. So Jormag is asleep starting Icebrood. That's new, to know that 100%. Someone's going to have to wake it up, though. Oh, it's going to be just like Eye of the North, man.
Well, you know what? Bram's going to go up there with his bow, shoot the sleeping dragon in his tooth, and wake him up.
Well, what you just said, I remember during the Season 3 days, I remember everyone was talking about that a lot. I remember even waiting into episodes 1 of Season 4, people were talking about that. Do you remember? Because Bram just appeared in a portal, through an awakened portal. That's how we reunited with him, if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
And it was right there in Farina he mentioned, like, being with the Norn or something, I think. I can't remember. No, he'd been hunting the portals with rocks, right? In Corteria, that's what he said.
Yeah, I think he was trying to stop the portals from happening.
Yeah. But first, it's time to travel to the Blood Legion homelands at the personal invitation of Imperator Bangar Ruinbringer to celebrate the defeat of Kralkatorrik and receive a crash course in char culture. Do you think that they're going to betray us, or it really is just a party? I mean, these are the Blood Legion. The Blood Legion having a party? Is that cool?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. What are you talking about?
All right, they're party goers now.
Okay,
They're not angry.
What do we know about Bangar, by the way?
There have been scrapes of information around, but not much, you know. You can actually look quite deep at exactly... there was a really nice comparison of the Emperors a long time ago, but my main takeaway that I remember from it is more about Smoda, and more Smoda revolving, about Smoda thinking outside the box and the technological push and working with the humans and Jenna. Like, that's kind of crazy for a child to do, you know.
Is it just me?
Yeah. Or
does Bangar, his face, look a little bit like Rox?
Oh, come on, Boots. What are you saying?
Maybe Rox's dad?
Come on, Boots.
I don't
know. What are you talking about? All right, the theory is lame. I think he looks like Scar from The Lion King.
A little bit, yeah, he does. If only he had Jeremy Irons as a voice actor in it.
Oh, God, dude. Can you imagine?
That'd be great.
All right. To celebrate the defeat of Kralkatorrik and receive a crash course. So yeah, I mean, we have a reason to celebrate. I definitely get it. I get it. Get ready for an escalating series of twists and turns that will eventually lead you into the Shiver Peaks to confront not only Jormag, but also the unpleasant truth that Elder Dragons aren't exactly what we thought they were. Wow, I like that last line.
Yeah.
You pair that last line with the, what do they call this? When they have, like, big text in the middle of an article? I can't remember. There's a specific word for it. Anyway, that line is becoming increasing... Well, no. It's more than a quote, though. I'm talking specifically about the formatting. But anyway, it's becoming increasingly clear that they might have an agenda. You think about that line along with the...
And they're not what we thought they were, yeah. Yeah, because we did think that they were just destructive forces at first.
Yeah, and then we see, you know, there's the whole mother thing, and Kralkatorrik actually seemed like quite a deep character right at the last moment, you know, tormented by himself. What torments Jormag? Who is Jormag versus Jormag's torment? Maybe that's what we go deeper into, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so Boots, you're up next. You're doing Elder Dragons written by Gorick. Let's hear it, man.
Written by Taimi, and then notes written by Gorick.
Oh, this is nice. Cool, so we get a bit of character development on these two, I suppose.
Okay, here we go. By
the way, the Elder Dragon concept art for each window. The Primordus one looks very weird, I have to say. They didn't really have any great convincing Primordus concept art, I guess. Maybe that's from Flashpoint? Yeah, Jormag is literally from the newest trailer.
These are pictures of Taimi took them with her golem.
Okay, all right. This one is in the universe, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, okay, go on then. Look at the water dragon picture back there. That looks like what's the dragon companion in Mulan? What is that thing?
Mushu.
It looks like Mushu. It's like Mushu to me. All right.
Okay, hold on.
It looks a bit like a salt spray. I'll say that.
Yes, because he's a water dragon. Zaitan. The first Elder Dragon defeated by the Pact, Zaitan embodied all things shadow and death. Used over large, sentient walking mouths of Zaitan, to travel the world and consume magic for its master. First-hand accounts describe it as unspeakably terrifying. And that gets crossed out and wrote, as Gorick writes, this might merit explication. For example, Zaitan had no lower jaw, just several smaller dragon heads. Have you considered including an illustration? I know an Asura of considerable talent. Okay. Also, despite being the Elder Dragon of Death, was killable, and then was killed.
That's funny. I like it. It feels like Taimi's written one, and it really feels like Gorick's written the other, right?
Yeah,
the vocabulary.
absolutely.
This is brilliant. Okay, go on then.
Yeah. And then we got Mordramoth, the second Elder Dragon, slain by the Pact. Embodied plant and mind, spreading its tendrils across the Maguma region and driving the Sylvari mad. Was likely more draconic in appearance in prior cycles. Oh, prior cycles, that's interesting. But took root eons ago and essentially became the center of Magubajabu. Colloquially known as the Heart of Thorns. Good one. Mordramoth's physical copy was serpent-like construct.
Body, that word is body, not copy.
Oh yeah, good point. Body was a serpent-like construct that wound itself around a central tree to which Heart of Thorns refers. Oh, correcting her.
Yeah, see, this is interesting. They're kind of doing a play. There's like a constant back and forth from like lore nerds about what exactly was Mordramoth's body. Like you can pick at like what Laurent considered Morgemoth to be. Is the mouth, that final boss battle, is that really Morgemoth, or is that just an aspect of him, and all this kind of stuff? Is he the entire jungle, or just that central body? And now we have a really contemporary thing. It's like, do you stand with Timey or Goric almost in a weird way on this, right?
Yeah.
And Goric is being matter of fact about a thing that actually I think people contend a lot. So yeah, that's interesting.
But hold on a second though. Did it happen concurrently that we killed?
I think the idea is, because they talk about the fights outside and stuff. Obviously, the game struggles to really hammer that down 100%, because that would mean the commander's in two places at once. But the idea is it's pretty much concurrent, I believe, yeah.
Okay.
If not, the mouth kind of would have died right before.
Yeah, the body died first, and then the mind was gonna go to Traherne.
But it's not so much about the body versus the mind. I think everyone understands that. It's more, is that actual beast that's flying around sucking magic out of the Leyline Islands, is that the entirety of Morgemoth or not? Or is it just a metaphor to say Morgemoth is the entire jungle? This is the discussion, right? And that's what I think the devs are kind of flirting with in a very fun way, actually, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Because there's line. Oh, anyway, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say that probably it's the entity probably included the mind, and he could just inhabit any kind of plant-like structures.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a line. It's either Ritlock or Kanak in the penultimate mission. You're just walking on like a vine, like that spinning tower thing, and they're like, "Oh, we've been on the back of the dragon the whole time." Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
I like the idea it was the whole jungle, but it had like a particular edifice of power or whatever, which was the big creature we saw towards the end defending its most vulnerable area or whatever. But where Traherne had been taken to.
I agree.
All right, Primordis. So this is interesting, by the way. What do you think about the order? Because obviously they're going to go Zaitan first and Morgemoth second, because they're dead, right?
Very important question. Is it Primordis or is it Primordius?
No, it's Oh, I thought it was Primordis, not Primordius.
I know, me too.
Is this a typo? Did they typo? It's okay. Know. It's okay. Timey typoed.
Right.
It's okay.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to type with tiny certain figures.
All right.
Okay.
I'll have to fact check that before uploading this. But
yeah, we're gonna look that up. The first Elder Dragon to awaken during this cycle, they happen approximately every 10,000 years. Primordus. Oh, it was a typo. Embodies fire and conflagration. Displaced the Asura and the Skrit from their underground cities and unleashed an army of malevolent rock creatures called Destroyers. Currently sleeping.
Oh, they should have gone hammer. These are Asura. Come on, they should have more reverence for Primordus. Sorry.
Well, hold on. Destroyers. Is that really what we call them? Unimaginative. You and I should revisit that taxonomy at some point.
He's like a teacher. It's great.
Yeah, he is. It's great. Okay, so currently sleeping, and is that since Jormag's still hibernating? I guess Primordus is also asleep. They're not even gonna touch that right now. Fire and conflict. Okay, I don't like that actually. Think about it this way: we got Morgemoth. He's plant and mind. Zaitan is death and shadow. So like, it's always one sort of solid thing and one sort of ephemeral thing. Yeah. Primordus is fire and conflagration. Those are both basically
fire
the same
and fire.
Thing. Yeah.
He is hot and heat.
He's hot and heat.
Hot and burn.
Super hot. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's kind of lame. Poor Primordus.
Or it's super ultra badass because he's just the ultimate of one thing, right? Maybe it's amazing.
Yeah, good point.
No, I'm just a big Primordius fan, man.
He is literally the core of the world.
He's awesome. Yeah, dude. You do like that jungle story again. Just copy-paste it and make him all the lava.
Yeah. All right, so we got Jormag, the most important thing right now, I think. The Ice Dragon forced the Norn and Kodan to flee from their homes in Farshiver Peaks. Jormag is thought to be perhaps the most eloquent of the Elder Dragons. Except for Aurene now. Persuading...
no, this is crazy. Go on, yeah.
Oh, okay. Persuading you to ally yourself with them in exchange for powers. That's what Aurene did. Jormag's desire... Okay, well, let's look at the notes on that one. The non-binary possessive pronoun here reminds me. With them, yeah, okay, there we go. Since our relationship with Aurene has evolved our understanding of Elder Dragons vis-a-vis gender identity, you may want to add a new section on that topic. She may even be able to tell us what Zaitan and Morgemoth identified as if they did.
Wow. I kind of hate that whole thing. Why is it so important? But okay, I mean, the whole Jormag is female because of the Sons of Svanir and Flame Legion is a really fun idea to play with.
But
it's interesting to see
that is interesting because the Sons of Svanir are only guys. But I think on Twitter, one of the devs said that Jormag is non-binary.
Yeah, I literally had Tom Abernathy, who works in narrative and the writing and so on, literally tweeted me saying someone tweeted me saying, hey WP, I really like the idea that Jormag might be female, that's a fun irony, blah blah blah, and he like came in and said the character is non-binary. That's what he said, which is what Goric is saying here, right?
So it is kind of interesting that some dragons are male, some are female, and some are non-binary.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we're in a weird sort of murky water here. I'll just see what they do with the story going forward, I guess.
Fair enough. Jormag's desire to become yours, and you are eventually transformed into Icebrood. Let's cross that and say, might Bram be able to provide you with some insight into the Sons of Svanir? You've quoted him once already. Yeah, probably. My own experimentation confirms that Jormag's and Primoris' magics have a unique and mutually debilitating relationship, currently hibernating.
See, this is interesting to me, because they're acting like Jormag is like special in its ability to persuade. But here's the thing. They've all got... The only one that really didn't have a sense of serious, like, possession, I think, is Primordus, who just literally just creates his own stuff all over the place. But the brand, you know, Kralkatorrik was taking living things and kind of zombifying them. Zaitan quite literally was zombifying, enslaving these bodies as thralls and moving them, right? Morgemoth was persuading the Sylvari to come to their true nature. Like, that whole mental space, that challenge there, like, that was a huge thing. So then Jormag, is Jormag really, before Icebrood, they're obviously going to go harder into it with Icebrood, but as far as the canon and the story is currently written, I never really felt like Jormag was more persuasive than the others. I just felt that, like, thralldom was kind of a recurring theme with Elder Dragons. You know, a big reason why the Sons of Svanir are the Sons of Svanir was not necessarily some psychic capacity from Jormag. It was the Norn worldview to revere spirits of the wild. And
but that makes me wonder.
And then naturally
also,
some of them are like, well, look, a dragon is the biggest spirit. So, you know, that was more about the Norn than it was about, you know... Like, if the Gruul were all following Jormag, which some Gruul you may have a tribe of Gruul that love Jormag. That doesn't mean that Jormag is more influential over the mind space of others. It's just that's about the Gruul. That's what the Gruul do, you know? And the Norn were, like, somewhat, you know, vulnerable to that as well. You can use the word vulnerable or a different one. So, but now Icebrood is saying, you know, like, they literally have here that it is thought to be, eloquent in that it persuades you and stuff. I don't know.
Look, I like the idea of, like, if we're going back to fight more Elder Dragons, I like the idea that an Elder Dragon that we're gonna fight isn't just a mindless entity.
Oh, me too. Don't get me wrong. I like the direction. I think it's cool. I like this, like, scary, like, Jormag that's speaking. I love the idea, Boots, that in this next season, the Deep Sea Dragon will also be a threat. And Jormag, and the Deep Sea Dragon is like pure horror, pure Cthulhu tentacle horror, like genuine, like completely demonic, insane, horrible Elder Dragon. And then Jormag is like, yo, I'll help you. I'll keep you safe. I'll freeze over the oceans. I'll keep you safe. I am your safety. I love that. I think that's incredibly cool. But was Jormag more persuasive than Morgemoth and all that?
Well, if Morgemoth could only persuade one, and like if they could only persuade Sylvari because Sylvari are made of Morgemoth, then...
Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not much different to what I just described with Primordus. You could have a good point there.
So I have a question about Jormag, and so you were talking about the Norn and the spirit of the dragon.
Yeah.
Is Jormag the dragon spirit?
Well, that's what the Sons of Svanir think. Do they even call it a spirit? They just say that they're following dragon. I think they do. They think of it as like one of their totems.
Exactly.
They think it's like some big ass, you know. So is there actually a spirit of the wild genuinely for the Elder Dragons? I think the idea is no, but I haven't brushed up on my lore for Norn stuff.
Well, why wouldn't
for
they
too long. Well, because the spirits are... There isn't a spirit for everything. The Coden believe there's a spirit for everything. But there's not a spirit for everything. Spirits are real things. Like, they are actual physical things that literally came to the Norn and said, yo, we're going to take you south. Follow us. And, like, they are killed and their Havrun is cut off and so on. Like, they are actual things. And we have no experience of ever actually seeing a spirit of the wild embodying, the elder dragon cycle, or it has no. So what the spirits of the wild really are is like this hugely interesting, like untapped story material that, again, I think Icebrood could do, because that's a great question.
I hope that I'm thinking that I hope that they get into that kind of thing in this.
Yeah.
Of all places to start talking about that, the Saga.
It's now. It's now. Please do it for the Norn. Do it for the Norn. I love the Norn. Please.
All right, I guess we'll move on to Kralkatorrik.
Okay.
And here we go. The crystal dragon, anything he breathed on turned to living crystal, branded, and became connected to Kralkatorrik via magical resonance. The pack commander flew down his throat with Aurene and, here I quote, punched his heart to death. In the process, they discovered that overconsumption of multiple spectrum magics had broken his mind apart. Do we have any idea how long Kralkatorrik had been like that? And what does this imply, Ari, the magic spectrum, and Aurene?
Well, yeah, I mean, Gorik's asking all the big questions, right? But I mean, they essentially, Kralkatorrik himself was saying, look, Aurene can survive this stuff. Aurene is like an egg of one dragon, bathed in the magic of the death of Morgemoth, consumed Balthazar power. Like, Aurene is like a crazy mix, and she's fine. And that was the whole point. That was the whole point of the end of episode 6, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. The water dragon. Dude, I'm really excited on this. Let's see.
The water dragon. All right. Scholars have long debated the possible existence of another elder dragon, one that may possess a degree of control over water and the oceans. Canthan and Elonian sailors have recounted tales of strange creatures heretofore unknown emerging from the oceans, possibly tied to this dragon's resurgence. But as of this writing, that folklore has yet to be empirically verified.
Dude, I think it's big. They're playing very cagey and very careful.
They are, and I love the fact that they mention Cantha.
Yes, because it's all very unified, Let's not ignore that. I think in the Movement of the World, they kind of pointed out that it was Zaitan's rise that really cut off the continents more than anything else. And now we don't really have any example or reason like why the trade routes aren't opening. But, they could easily link that to the Deep Sea Dragon or something.
Or they could
if the Deep Sea Dragon... Sorry?
I was just going to say, or they could link it to the government in Cantha being
the Ministry of Purity and their xenophobia, yeah. But you could, if I were them, and if the Deep Sea Dragon is a part of Icebrood, I would segue out of Icebrood and whatever Deep Sea Dragon stuff is going on into some Cantha stuff, maybe, because of the oceans. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Now, my question is, before Aurene, though, for the water dragon, I feel like in several episodes of The Living Story, didn't Taimi, suggest that she knew a lot more about the Elder Dragon than she was telling anybody?
Did she? What, of the Deep Sea Dragon? Taimi hinted that she knew more?
I feel like there were one-off lines here and there where she'd be talking about the Deep Sea Dragon in some way that said she know his name or something like that.
Was there something about her knowing? I don't recall that. Maybe there was something about his name. Maybe. But anyway. Last I really remember is the S from the ceiling of the Antikytheria mechanism or whatever.
Right.
And the map of the All, in the Dermot Priory Library.
Now, what if his name doesn't start with S and the S is just the shape of the dragon?
No, because it was all... Come on, man. Come on. And besides, it wasn't even that. It was a new Crichton S.
Fine,
so it didn't even look like that. All right? Jesus. Take it up with your apostate. All right, Aurene. Last one.
Aurene. The new Elder Dragon in over 100 million years was raised from an egg by the peoples of Tyria, including this author. She ascended following Kralkatorrik's demise, becoming a new kind of crystal dragon. Prismatic dragon, question mark? One that can act as a kind of prism. Well, okay. Separating and recombining all the magics in the spectrum. Her unique history makes her the first Elder Dragon to know and care about mortals, and vice versa. Our work to understand what she is and what she can be, and what we are to her, is just beginning. Presumably to be documented in future editions of this very book. Yeah. It really is quite remarkable work, Taimi. Blish would be very proud.
Oh, a little mention of Blish there. I like some Asuran arrogance getting in there at the end. By the way, I'm going to call some unreliable narration, obviously, because these are in character written. But this thing, her unique history makes her the first Elder Dragon to care about mortals. BS, baby. I'm telling you, what they should really do is they should set up that all these dragons cared about mortals. They were all intelligent, empathetic creatures of Tyria that just got too much magic and ended up going bonkers. And that Aureen's not unique in that way, I think is so compelling. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's good. Oh, yeah, and then they're like posing at the bottom of the page as well.
I find, okay, so I like this. Actually, no, I was gonna say something about like how it's a little strange with the with like the out of character real world writing with this
on the left.
On the left, and then with the in character in real world book on the right.
Yeah,
it's like it's a little jarring,
but they've done the art though is the idea.
Yeah,
if you imagine you're holding it, it kind of works. It's like, hey, here's a piece of something pulled out of Tyria, put into our magazine.
That's it. So I was about to say, I was like, this is exactly how they do the old magazines back in the day.
Yeah, it's Tyrian lore in a magazine in a PDF. So it's just a bit. All right.
Oh man, I love this the next page here.
Okay, what is this?
Character profiles.
Okay, so character profiles on the left, and then on the right, we just got another advert, right? RGB keyboard, gear check, get equipped to tackle the Icebrood Saga with powerful gaming peripherals. Do you think they actually getting a kickback from that? That's kind of cool.
Probably. And
they could do this all season, right?
Look at those cosplay.
Look, they've even got random-ass YouTubers now talking about hyper stuff, right? And the cosplays and stuff, HyperX's stuff. Anyway, so, of the character profiles, do you want to just leapfrog them?
Yeah, let's do Bangar first. We wanted to know more about him.
All right, leader of the Blood Legion, whose winning smile is all teeth. Look, betrayal right there. They're saying it. Despite his reputation as a wild card among the Imperators, the best interests of the Char are close to Bangar's heart. Oh, please make me empathize with his destructive militarist ways. His distrust for humans, there it is, throw away that treaty, and the other races of Tyria stems not just from prejudice, but from historic wrongs committed amongst his people. Gwen the Goremonger. Screw those humans. Screw those mice. Oh my god.
Character. All right. And then we got Bram Eriksson, sorry. Good point.
Eriksson.
Sorry. Okay. Young, headstrong Norn guardian prophesies to slay a Jormag and reclaim the Shiver Peaks in the name of his people. After finally making peace with his mother's death, Bram must now face the consequences for cracking the fang of the serpent, then failing to deliver on his promises. No pressure or anything.
Yeah, something just occurred to me here. He's like a main character this season. It's really important. If you look back at season 4, it was really important that they did the Bram stuff well, because he's so perfectly set up for a big Icebrood center stage. It's like they're making a really main character. So at the start of season 3, he's just in such a horrible place as far as the community's concerned. No one likes him. No one thinks he was realistic the way he was portrayed, all that kind of stuff. And then they do that big 180. I like Bram now as well. It was so important they did that well, and they did do it well last season. So, sorry, it's not season 3 if I said that, season 4. Anyway, also, Boots, it's just occurred to me, these character profiles, this might be like the Icebrood Destiny's Edge or Dragon's Watch. This is the cast. Like, Kanak's not on this list, you might not see Kanak. Marjorie's not on this list, you might not see much Marjorie. Kazmir's not. I mean, Timey's not.
Timey's gonna be in it, though.
Yeah, and she's obviously got a big story about her health and stuff, so she is. So maybe I'm wrong, actually. But anyway,
but we got a new one here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick. We got kind of 2 new ones. It depends if you read the Requiem short story. I'll go with Javi, Joris Dodder, because if you guys watch my Let's Play, which obviously was produced before Icebrood was announced, you can see me going to the Vigil Keep and joining the Vigil and finding this character and talking about this character. This is a great hero that has always been on Tyria, just standing around as a part of the Vigil, never doing anything. Whoa. And if you watch my LP, I talk all about it, and I wish they would do something with her in the future. She's in that the animated. Yeah, she's in the trailer. It's so good. So check it out. Javi Joris Dotter.
Is she a necromancer?
Descendant. I can't remember her race.
But look at her. She's wearing an axe and a focus, and she's got sort of skulls on her. I don't know.
Is it a focus? I don't know. Is it a focus?
I think so.
I can't remember what she was in game. I guess she's like a warrior or something. They might have class swapped her or something. I mean, she was just like a vigilant NPC. Anyway, descendant of the great Norn hero Jorah, Jarvi has spent her entire life, and by the way, there's a good chance we're saying her name wrong here, living in the shadow cast by her great-grandmother's legend as one of the leaders of the Vigil. Like, she's up there with Loranthir, Boots, right? She's up there.
Yeah.
It's sometimes difficult to differentiate between respect she's earned and respect her lineage demands. Raven might have a few things to say about that. Why might Raven have something to say about that?
Well, Raven has something to say about everything.
Raven the Wise. I love Raven, man. Raven's awesome. This is very cool. I'm really excited about this character. My initial speculation from that trailer was that it might have been the missing wife of Newt Whitebear. She's just like this other great hero. She's gone missing. You can find like her statue outside Ayre's homestead, but it's like, what's she been doing all these years? She's just gone north. But it's definitely Jarvi. This is very, very, very cool. So, I'd like to see her. Who do you want to pick?
I want to do a new one. I want to do Criticia Stoneglow.
Okay.
So Bangar's shrewd head of security, her Flame Legion heritage and innate skill as an elementalist, might make some char cagey, but Critia's loyalty to her Imperator and the Legion that raised her is seemingly unshakable. More ambiguous? Her attitude towards her old warband mate, Ritlock. Oh, don't talk to her about Sahothin.
Basically, do you remember Requiem, Boots? Do you remember the details of her?
No, I don't.
She was undercover with Ritlock, with the Flame Legion, and then Ritlock went to take Sahothin. I think it was maybe prematurely. It was going to blow their cover. So in order to keep her cover and not fall under suspicion, she started attacking Ritlock, right?
Okay.
Even though they were both Blood Legion spies, right?
Yeah.
She stabbed Ritlock. But Ritlock got away. She stayed undercover, went back to the Blood Legion. She's like second in command to Bangar, right? She's in the trailer. The little cutscene that we saw. And anyway, the idea is that Ritlock and her, they really like each other. Like, they sort of banging each other like each other. And Ritlock's... Banger. Ritlock's cubs could have been with her. That's the idea.
Aha.
This was all at the same time, so that could be their mother.
Okay. And then... Right, but they were separated because of the fact that... Yeah, got it.
Well, don't forget that Requiem ends, and then Ritlock has plenty of time before Age of Destiny to return to her and, make babies and things, right? So, stuff could happen. All right, Blood Legion... so Ritlock is last one. The current favorite of mine of the current cast. Blood Legion Tribune with a nasty temper. Ritlock is best known for the sword that forged his reputation, Sahothin, legendary blade of fire and war. Back home, it's a different story. When his Imperator summons him into a celebration commemorating Kralkatorik's defeat, Ritlock inadvertently helps set into motion a series of events that threatens the future of the Char High Legions. Whoa, that's like a proper what? That's a real hint.
That's a spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler. It's a spoiler for a prologue.
For the prologue, yeah. Well, okay. We'll see it in 2 weeks. But
we don't know any details. That's cool, though, isn't it? What could he do?
I don't know.
What could he inadvertently say? So in the cutscene, we saw that he and Banger are like fighting, and I find it so hard to believe.
That's probably what he does.
Kralkatorik's dead because of Ritlock.
Yeah.
So how is it they fall apart? There's something going on there that we just don't know.
So it's celebration with the metal char band, celebrating Kralkatorik's defeat, and then Ritlock gets into a fight with Bangar. Probably.
Yeah, but the fight is because they're already disappointed. No. That's not it, is it?
They're disappointed where? Where does it say they're disappointed?
In the cutscene we saw at the presentation, he's like, my disappointment. He's like, I'm your tribune. He's like, whatever, bro. And then they fight. Right? So they're already
maybe the
mad.
disappointment is that he's hanging out too much with non-char.
But he just killed Kralkatorik, and Kralkatorik's why they're celebrating. I think there's something more going on. Maybe it's something to do with their cubs. Here's the interesting thing. In Requiem, they established that the Blood Legion were doing spy work. They didn't go to Ash or anything. They were spying themselves. I wonder whether Ritlock was, like, given another job, like a double agent job or something, to, like, assassinate, Logan or whatever. I don't know, right? Maybe they'll add a twist onto his history, and he didn't do it. And then that's the disappointment. And that disappointment is so huge, it has to overshadow the contribution in the downfall of Kralkatorik and other Elder Dragons. So it has to be huge. Whatever arena it's going for, it has to be big, right?
Yeah.
Do you know another cool theory I heard about Ritlock, and I think is really, really fun?
What?
you know how his cubs are going to be Blood Legion, right? What if in this saga, Ritlock doesn't make it because he's all goody two shoe? I love my babies. Oh, where are my babies? Oh, I've spent time with humans and now I'm all soft. He goes to his cubs to try and protect him, and his cubs are just these brutal, horrible, angry Char that are disappointed in their father. You remember in the personal story, you get to be disappointed in your father. You get to kill your father because you don't like the way he's gone, right?
Okay.
What if that happens to Ritlock? Ritlock comes crawling back. Oh, I love you, cub. And they're Blood Legion, and they rip his face off. And that's like one of the sad moments of the season, of the saga.
And then they become Icebrood.
Maybe, yeah, or whatever. I know, but and then Bangar rips up the treaty, and suddenly you hate the Char because they've killed one of your most loved characters, and Oh,
you hate all the Char, even yourself, if you are a Char.
Well, no, you're Iron Legion. Well, you raised yourself in Iron Legion. You spent a lot of time around the Iron Citadel, so you're exempt, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, this is cool, actually. You just made me realize. It's like with Path of Fire, playing a human blessed by Balthazar, isn't it? You should play Icebrood as a Blood Legion Char, guys. Or a Norn. Ooh, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Who do you want to play it with? Anyway, that's awesome, man. That's a cool page. I like that.
And while old friends will join you on your next adventure, isn't a party a great place to meet new people? Here are some folks to keep an eye out for you. Okay, got it.
Dude, I just scrolled down. This is huge. This is super huge. We're probably going to have to gloss over it a bit quicker here.
Uh-oh. Okay, why?
Oh my god, look at how huge it is. Wow, this is a hell of a magazine. I'm really impressed.
All right, let's keep going, though. Come on.
Okay, all right, welcome to Grothmar. The Icebrood Saga prologue will take you all the way to the Blood Legion homelands. Grothmar Valley is a beautiful sight for a gathering, but even Char parties have sharp edges, and the wildflower dappled hills bristle with war machines and Legion encampments. So, the Blood Keep. Events are underway across the valley. If you get turned around, you can always orient yourself to the Blood Keep. This massive fortress is built into the natural cliff face, dividing the Blood Legion homelands and the Shiver Peaks. So wait, is the Blood Keep the Blood Citadel? It is. It is.
Yeah.
Look at that screenshot on the bottom right. It looks just like the upper areas of the Citadel. Yeah. The Great Hall. This looks nice, Boots.
It looks like a mix between. It looks like a mix between Ascalonian and Char construction.
A bit, yeah, which is ironic, I guess. But it also looks like just a military barracks, The war room, sealed, guarded, well supplied with intel. The Farah. Char clubs live here during their training under the care of the High Legions. Interesting, we get to see a Blood Farah. Party fever. There's plenty to do between scheduled events. Be a gracious guest and participate in the festivities, no matter the risk to life and limb. Here are a sampling of events you'll find around the Blood Keep, the Festival Promenade, and the training grounds. So Forge Keeper... So these are dynamic events, I guess. Saintia has a big order for Dune Rollers coming up. Wait, Dune Roller... Oh, my God. Oh, dude. The World vs. World Char machines that you can drive around in the Desert Borderlands.
Oh,
we might be able to drive them here. Dude, do you remember at Dragon Bash as well? They had the mower spectate thing where you can basically be inside the mower as it runs around and does things.
Yeah.
And like riding Aurene in episode 6. What if they have moments where you ride these Dune rollers?
This looks great, and like maybe they handle a little bit like roller beetles, but a little clunkier maybe. And
even take control of them. I was just thinking about being a passenger, but yeah, that's cool as well.
Control them, and what does the Argent Legion need with so many cars? To wreck them. It's gonna be like a Dune buggy derby.
Oh, that's what it says. It says join the demolition derby.
Yeah.
Declare support for your favorite legion and use your Dune Roller's skills to blast the competition to smithereens. So, like, a saga can do new stuff. What if that's like a full-on activity?
That looks like an activity for sure.
That's awesome. Head chef, just like season 1 added activities too. Head chef Melitus has too much on his plate and too little on everyone else's. Visit his kitchen and lend a hand by tossing, chopping, and grilling food. Dude, I love that in Path of Fire. Do you remember the mastery point in Path of Fire? You get to do once in your life. Because that's how Guild Wars is structured. We get to do it again. I'm well up for that.
Yeah.
Char Cubs start their military training early. Show the kiddos how it's done. Visit the range to hop aboard a heli platform and snipe targets on the ground and in the air.
Adventure.
We're not going to be on a helicopter there. Oh, dude, can you imagine if they do the like archery shootout from the jungle?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. This looks
That'd be so Blood Legion too. Well, that'd be kind of Iron Legion, I guess, to an extent. But wow.
So hold on a second. So you are on a heli platform. So you're not flying around, but you are going to be sniping targets on the ground in the air.
Yeah, I guess it will be. I'm thinking it's a bit like. Is the Sabbath a platform like that, if I remember rightly? With like there's just spinning fans underneath or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm thinking the right thing?
I think.
So yeah, something like that anyway.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun.
We want to look at the background art too as well. Is that concept art or is that an in-game screenshot filtered weirdly? It looks just like pre-serum.
That's concept art for sure.
Also, there's a wooden effigy there. It looks like that's weird.
No, that's a person.
Yeah, but
the effigy. Yeah. In the video, they had the effigy burning.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
All right, the main events. Do you want to take us through this page? This looks cool.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So the main events.
Nice willow trees back there, by the way. Sorry,
yeah, quite gorgeous. That looks like an in-game screenshot.
Yeah, definitely. Because that plant in the foreground, that looks like friggin', like a Hawthorn's plant.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like that.
So the main events, you'll find an event schedule posted along the road near the Iron Legion's encampment. Use it as a guide through Grothmar Valley to take part in the map-wide meta events. Hey, map-wide meta events.
Well, hold on. An event schedule, is that going to be like a bounty board, but for events? Does that make sense? Do you remember in Amnoon, they have that NPC in the heart of the Amnoon Oasis city? And you could speak to, and it tells you all the events that are going on in the area. But it was kind of a weird feature that wasn't really necessary because people just kind of spam past those events. But if they'll do something new here. And Boots, I think I know why they might be doing that.
Why?
I think that's because, you know how they said they were going to dynamically update the maps?
Mm-hmm.
And expand them? What if, like, every patch, new dynamic events are getting added in different areas, but you can always go to that same place at the start to keep up to date with what's going on.
And it's better than having to, like, look online on the wiki every time.
Yeah, or have weird orange starbursts everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be cool. If you've never envisioned helping Flame Legion Shamans channel powerful fire magic, at least it's good for a good cause, bringing their sacred flame to an enormous effigy to perform a unifying ritual.
Okay, I think what we were talking about with the flame before was probably just to do with this.
Yes.
This is just an event, a unifying ritual.
Exactly. So this is happening in the prologue. Members of the Flame Legion are eager to prove themselves to follow to their fellow Char. There's nothing like a little ghost banishing to bring people together. So join soldiers from all 4 legions on a trip to Doomlore Shrine.
Dude, the Doomlore Shrine is back!
Mm-hmm.
That was for people that don't remember or know, that was the town outpost in the Blood Legion homelands in Guild Wars 1. And it was where you would travel out to hit multiple dungeons. It's where the original COF people used to farm from over and over and over and over again. I'm really thrilled about that, dude.
In
fact, that screenshot. Yeah. Oh my god. Will we go? Boots. They might actually add that dungeon later in the saga.
Hey.
By expanding the map, they might do that.
Yeah. I mean, you join soldiers from all 4 legion and bring people together. So this might be part of that strike stuff.
Oh yeah, strike missions could be. Yeah, because I don't think the actual dungeon feature will be expanded on in the saga. I don't think that. But I do think maybe they could do a mini dungeon or this strike mission or whatever, mini raid, which is essentially what they seem to be, right?
Yeah. So a Gladian has no warband, a position of shame for any Char. In the Ooze Pit trials, Gladia vie for a chance to be noticed and recruited. Sign up to represent your legion of choice and demonstrate the necessary skills. So wait, do you have to be a Char to do this, or can you be a non-Char and do this?
I don't know, but what I'm amazed at there is it sounds like in the prologue we're going to get the entire Blood Legion homelands.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're going to get it all, because that's a dungeon in the homelands as well in Guild Wars 1, the Ooze Pits.
Yeah.
But it's quite far away. Well, some of the other dungeons, it looks good, dudes.
Now, hold on a second. You said something interesting earlier that I'm just remembering now about the Sea Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
You said you hope it's going to be like a Lovecraftian horror type thing.
Yeah, like a Cthulhu monster. I think the expectation is it might look like a Salt Spray because of Kanaxai and, all that stuff, but I want them to go in a different direction. I want it to be like
a Kraken?
Yeah, or somewhat similar to the concept art of the Tidal Wave attacking Lion's Arch and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Because when you think about it, in the presentation, one of the story devs, or was it a gameplay dev, that said in the first and second episode, not the prologue, it's going to start taking a much darker tone.
Yeah.
Very Lovecraftian, they said, I think.
Yes, they said. Yeah, that's exactly why I'm saying this. That's one of the reasons why I'm captured by the idea. Yeah.
Although at the same time, Jormeg's being very eloquent and converting
Yeah,
people
but
over is Lovecraftian in a sense.
it's just that idea of Jormag is supposed to be convincing and compelling, right?
Yeah.
So if Jormag is the safe one, there has to be something really scary for us to flee from to go into Jormag's arms, you know, to even have that argument even remotely register on our characters level or the characters that are close to us. So that's what I think. I think that's what they would contrast Jormag with. Jormag is like, you know, trying to make us, is tricking us into loving it and feeling safe. That ice fortifies, ice protects, that line they had.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Cthulhu dragon.
So don't miss the horn-shattering intensity of the Metal Legion concert. This all-char band is bringing their most hardcore hits and state-of-the-art pyrotechnics to 4 legions of hyped-up fans at the amphitheater.
Dude, I like that. I like that. Seeing that now as one bullet point in this awesome sounding release suddenly.
Yeah.
I'm well up for it. I'm now like super game. When I saw it on the presentation, I was like, oh man, is this gonna be good? Is this gonna be like the patch is about the dancing band? But no, it's just like a bit, you know.
And if all of this is in the prologue, that's a lot more than I was expecting.
Yes, yeah, I thought we were going to get like some little, you know, maybe one instance up there or something. I don't know. Dude, this is a lot.
Yeah. Okay, and if they are able to do a magazine like this for every release...
Dude, I know.
That's really good because I think probably something that's missing from the releases is getting people to know all the little things in there. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, even though there's like a adventure pop up on a map, people don't usually go check them out unless someone tells them about them.
Yeah, or there's a big compelling reason or something. No, I agree. I think this is actually really good. And they picked the timing right. It's not like dump all the information in 7 days, right? This is early before the, you know, we got a bit of waiting around to do here, you know? Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy with the timing they've chosen here.
Okay, achieving the life for me. The prologue, story, and map come with a new set of achievements, and you can party on as long as you want by completing Grothmar Valley daily achievements. Oh, okay.
That's a weird. That come on. We know there's going to be achievements. We know there's going to be dailies. This is a weird one. But yeah. Do you think, by the way, Boots, we're going into this saga? Do you think they're going to refine LFG and the daily categories and stuff at any point ever? Because they're so bloated now. You know, there's so many maps. You know.
Hopefully, but probably not.
They should change LFG to be like have a newest map section and then like.
I feel like they're gonna change LFG when they release, if they release World versus World restructuring
alliances and stuff. Yeah.
Because they're gonna. I hope they're gonna also come up with an LF looking for guild, and they'll probably like work on both of them at the same time too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Cavern of the Khan Ore. You probably shouldn't go poking around in there, but if you did, you might find something special. Treasure, for instance, or even unique rewards. If anyone from Ash Legion asks, you didn't hear it from us.
The Cavern of the Khan Ore. Now that's interesting. What on earth could be going on with that?
That looks like a lot of treasure in there.
It sounds like maybe this is going to be a bit like what they did with Thunderhead Peaks, you know, where there was like the daily like mini dungeon thing you would do for Serpentite, and then that would build into weapons and stuff, and there was the giant treasure room at the end, and you were spamming Light of Deljamor. Oh, what if we spam Light of Deljamor in there as well? That'd be so good.
That would be good.
Anyway, maybe they'll do that.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, a new challenge. After you finish the prologue story, you'll be able to tackle a harder version of its climactic encounter with up to 9 other players.
All right, this is it. This is what I heard about the strike mission thing. I think that's a strike mission, Boots.
The prologue story turns into a strike mission?
I think. And now I'm
it's climactic encounter.
Yeah, but so this to me sounds like, you know, the nightmare moat for Heart of Thorns and the Morgemoth fight. It was 5-man, but it was buggy. It wasn't really replayable. It was kind of a half attempt. What if this time they actually go heavy with the idea of doing a replayable boss fight in the story that goes up to 9 players? And then that's like a middle ground towards raids. They're like mini raids. It's like they sell individual encounters. This is so good that I almost have to make a whole video on it, man. Because it's like, you know, what's the main criticism with Living World? They spend all this time building all these mechanics and stuff and animations. Well, it is replayable. You just have no incentive to, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
And it's done. But now, a replayable 10-man harder version, dude, it's insane.
But
do you know what it is?
How do you think it's going to be tuned though? Is it going to be a lot harder, raid type harder, or is it going to be less than raid type? I think less than raid type.
It will be less than a raid encounter, but it will be, I hope, like fractal CM level, something like that maybe. I mean, that to me is raid level as well, to be honest. I don't know, it's somewhere around there though. Something that actually gets communities of 10 PvEers doing things.
That'd be great.
And gives purpose to guilds. This is going to be great for guilds.
Yeah, they could tie it to guild rewards as well if you like make it guild groups.
Oh, yeah, they could. Dude, reading this, I mean, the guild stuff aside, because they've not done any hint of that, but even just reading, actually seeing how that's written, that is very, very exciting to me. Do you know what that makes me think?
What does it make you think?
Everything I've ever wanted from the end of the personal story. The 10-man Zaitan mini raid. A Zaitan strike mission. If this works in this saga, if it works...
So you want to have 10 people shooting Zaitan with those guns?
No. I want to make it a real thing where you defend the megalith cannon and you spread out across the entire deck and, you know, you're defending cannon users and lots of mechanics, like a fun thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's 10-man. That's what I've always wanted. And strike missions is a format that would actually apply something like that. Oh, dude. It's good. I really like it.
Yeah, so you could leave in the original and then just add a secondary instance that's a 10-man that's a better fight.
Yeah, just think about any boss in the story, like the Balthazar fight or, you know, the Mortimer fight we had a little bit of an experience with. But even more minor things. Think about, like, Bitterfrost Frontier and the boss you fight in the top right. It's like a boring, like, nothing engagement. But now if they, like, they go that little extra bit. They've built the room for it. They've built the boss, the animations. They've built everything. They just actually now make a mechanically interesting version that's multiplayer. Yeah. It feeds into another applicable format of the game.
Now, do you think
I'm suddenly a huge fan.
Repeatable rewards or singular rewards?
I think one weekly repeatable reward, just like you see in raids. And, you know, because this is going to keep expanding. There'll probably be loads and loads and loads of them. So you don't want it daily. You don't want people being like, oh my god, I've got to play 6 hours to go through all of them, you know, a year's from now. Yeah. So just like a weekly thing. So you can just get up like semi-casual, go do all your strike missions and then go into a raid wing or something.
Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't take away from raiding population as people kind of shuffle, but I like it. All right, so next page. I guess I'm reading this one, am I?
I think so.
Oh my god, what is that? Destiny's Pledge?
Yes, this is what I saw.
This is what you've seen. Dude, I love the art. What is this? A guy in jail? That's the guy from the first cutscene, the very first trailer. This guy here, he's in front.
That guy there is Logan. Well, no, it's not.
No, Logan. He's not Logan. He's a guy that appears in like a crowd.
Yeah, he's definitely not Logan. He's absolutely not Logan, and that other guy behind him is definitely not Ridlock.
Where have I seen that before, though? Where have I seen that char?
Oh, that's concept art for sure.
No, I know, but where have I seen that concept art? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's concept art for Ridlock, and I'm pretty sure that's concept art for Logan.
No, it's not concept art for Logan, man. It's from the first trailer. And Logan's in the first trailer, and it's not concept art of Logan. No, but it's in the first trailer when the trailer is talking about Zaitan's initial rise with loads of people fighting against dwarves and stuff, and that figure is in it. All right, it's not Logan. It's not Logan.
Sure. Anyway, you should read this.
Okay, so Destiny's Pledge. After a devastating rejection by his queen, Captain Rogan, okay, so it's like a spin-off, swore to never love again. But when his duty traps him in a single cot prison cell with the ruggedly handsome Tribune Gritlock, Rogan's vow is put to the test. From the author of the smash hit A Crowcatoric Affair comes a sultry dance between a human and char and a romance that transcends species by Snargle Goldclaw. Oh my god, this is like the fanfic.
You know what I like
about this? They did a cover for it now. What? Sorry?
You know what I like about this? Besides everything?
Yeah, what's that?
I like that this story 100% exists somewhere on the internet.
Oh, do you think people should be writing it? If it's not, they should be going chapter by chapter.
Mm-hmm.
This is fantastic. And I love, the concept art characters are kind of like knockoffs of, you know, the characters we think we know.
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Ridlock in a concept art, but it never really looked like Ridlock.
It looks really weird, yeah. Was that from Requiem? The concept art on the Requiem Twine was strange, but that was like a creative partner piece. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was Heart of Thorns concept art, maybe, Boots. That's from.
Maybe.
Somewhere crazy. Anyway, that's lovely, and I think that's the story from the airship at the end of the last episode. Then what do we have on the right? The Metal Legion. Dude. Yeah. I wonder whether there'll actually be good music. Because
Well,
when you play
think...
Super Adventure Books Trib, you get actual metal. There's
yeah,
actually
that's
there.
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe they're gonna use, the
That guy.
creative partner who did. I don't know if he was ever creative partner. I think he was before the creative partner program existed.
No,
but
it wasn't before the partner program.
Not the
I
partner
don't think
program,
he was a part of it.
before the creative partner program.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he used to do renditions of Guild Wars 2 songs as metal songs. And they were put in game with like a boombox and stuff like that. So maybe they'll just reuse that.
Yeah, I think you could be right. That would be pretty good. I think they could go for that. So I always feel a bit of weird like culture shock when I listen to that metal in Super Adventure Books. There's a lot of reasons I don't like it, just because of the way the maps flow and it cuts in and out and stuff, and it's very loud and it's very weird. But it would work. So they say here on the bottom left, we put the band back in Warband. Tour locations: Grothmar, Divinity's Reach, Ratasum, Lion's Arch, Black Citadel. Why no Holbrack? Why no
Jormag?
That's interesting.
Oh, do you think Jormag's gonna get I mean Holbrack? Do you think Holbrack's gonna get destroyed?
No, I don't think they'll do that. I think that's crazy. I think that's way too much work, and I don't think it's worth it. If they open a saga with something like that, then the idea of doing expansion grade or even better stories, maybe I'll really sit up and start paying attention. The other thing is there's no Grove. Do you think that's just because the Sylvari can't handle it?
Definitely. Probably some of them do. Probably some of them are really
yeah, that's probably quite... I don't know, that's strange. I mean, it's not that the Grove's too far away either, right? Assyria Gates, Ratasum's on there.
These guys go everywhere, yeah.
They really should have booked a tour at the Carnival on the Fire Island chain. Now that would have been metal. They should have done that.
They need to enter the amphitheater on motorcycles.
Dude, there's not... the Black Citadel, they should do it in the Bane. That would be so good.
Yeah.
And then come in on Dune buggies, yeah?
Oh,
I like it. I wonder if we'll get to know their names by the end. All right, well, there you go.
How much fun do you think a dev had designing the album logo?
Yeah, I know, right? I know. It feels really familiar to me, but I'm not sure who they're spoofing with it.
I don't know, but I want to see it tagged up on a lot of places in the Citadel when we see it.
All right, so you could do the next 2 pages. I guess we don't have to go too ham with them, though, right? Because they look kind of advertisement heavy.
Yeah, this is so the top part of the first one here is Alienware Arena Gamers Wanted. It looks like an advertisement for a computer. It doesn't seem to be related to Guild Wars 2.
Even remotely, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wonder if ArenaNet got paid to put it in, or if it's just like an ad
probably they would have had kickbacks from all of these, surely. They're collaborations.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then bangarang, we got the tights that are similar but distinct to Guild Wars 2 armor.
Yep, similar but distinct. That's a very diplomatic way that you put that there. I like, by the way, on the bottom left, can you see they've got Guild Wars 2 written there in like a really weird, almost like Guild Wars 1 kind of font, almost. Yeah, that's Guild Wars 2 written, but not in the Guild Wars 2 way. It just feels weird.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's just the bangarang. It's not even the bangarang font. It's just the same as the one up here. Expand the same font.
Yeah.
And then we got pre-order the complete Guild Wars art of Guild Wars 2. Oh, this is the Dark Horse Comics collaboration.
Yeah, and they get a whole page, and I really think, guys, out of all this merch and stuff, this is the one that's actually worth it. This one, you should pick this up.
I agree.
This is actually what should be exciting. This has got like dev comments and behind the scenes and beautiful stuff. What, or should do, obviously I don't know yet, but the previous one was. What's kind of annoying is if you're in the UK, guys, it's really weird. Amazon's like stocking it. You got to buy it from like German Amazon, put it over or something until the page comes up, or I don't know. But for most people, make sure you get it, I think.
There's probably going to be like an initial release where they only printed a certain amount, and then if they all sell out, they'll do it again.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta get my first edition, Boots. I gotta get it. I gotta collect it.
And then the last page is...
Here you go. Look. This is what I'm talking about, the Guild Wars thing again. Look at that up there.
Where?
It says Guild Wars 2, but it's written like Guild Wars 1. That's the Guild Wars 1 font and colors and stuff. Right?
On this... No, it's not even Guild Wars 2. It's just Guild Wars. No,
it says Guild Wars 2, the Icebrood Saga. What are you
reading? Over there. Yeah.
Scroll down, the last page. Yeah. See that?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of Guild Wars 1 font, isn't it?
But what's really interesting is that box. Look at that box, and look at the discs.
Does it exist?
No, I don't think it exists. It's just like a mock-up of something. But I want a box. This is really nice. I like this. It's like, you know, there's that thing. It's like expansions, guys. It's worthy of like a retail box thing. We're not buying a retail box thing, but look, it puts it in your mind.
Okay, well, you
this
know
is a
why.
Very clever
so
thing.
besides I think I think the Bangarang ad with different font is just because it's an ad made by those people with different font.
Yeah. But
here, this is purposefully done this way to look like, because you know these magazines existed when Guild Wars 1 came out, so something like this was there when Guild Wars 1 first came out. There would be an advertisement like this out there.
So
I'm sure
like
I've seen things like this. They're spoofing it, and it's great.
Yeah, and it's their original font and stuff deliberately. I've never seen Guild Wars 2 written in the Guild Wars 1 style, and to have it come out of the studio as well is just kind of a geeky, fun thing to see. The Icebrood Saga, you could almost imagine that saying the War in Kryta written underneath, you know, as though it was like Beyond or something.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I remember what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, go on.
Saga.
Oh yeah.
So I know. Okay, so first of all, we know that they're changing the word season to Saga probably because they're putting more things into this set of releases, so that it's supposed to be bigger than a season, right?
Right.
Supposed to be a different thing. But more importantly, I think it's called Saga because it's very fitting, because it's going to be about primarily the Norn, I'm guessing. And Saga is an epic story from Norse mythology.
Yeah, it's like Icelandic and stuff, right? Yeah, I've heard that. I think it's an okay observation, but it's not going to be true when we go to the next saga, is it? So I think it's just like a nice.
No, I think they might change it to something else.
Nah, really? You think that they'll have? See, I'm expecting it to be the Icebrood Saga, and then like a year later it will be the Cantha Saga, and then a year later it will be the whatever saga. You think it's just Saga? They're gonna reinvent the branding and the word again, just because the subject material. It depends.
I guess it depends on how good the Icebrood Saga does.
Oh yeah. Because if it's bad, they'll want to get away from it.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Maybe. But I think it's a nice little thing for now. But I don't think it's Oh, by the way, can you see on the box, it's got a pyramid back there, like a Path of Fire pyramid.
Where on the box? Oh, yeah.
Behind the army.
I think that's just lighting, though.
Do you think that's just lighting?
Yeah.
Also, the Jormag concept art on that box feels a little bit more detailed to me, maybe, than what we've seen before. Or maybe it's just kind of the shape of the face.
I think it's like this. Yeah, I think it's about the same as was on the screen behind them.
Yeah. And this last sentence, by the way, this is what ArenaNet need to push a lot. Buy Path of Fire to play Icebrood as soon as it's live, and get the prior expansion for free. That's like the big sell. That's what everyone should be hearing about Guild Wars 2 right now. That sentence, like exactly as it's worded.
Yeah,
it's really clever. I think they were very clever about this last page.
Well, it kind of reminds me of when the last 2 expansions came, right? So they started doing they made Guild Wars 1 free to play. They reduced the price of Heart of Thorns, etc., etc. So just like that, we've moved past it far enough that they're able to reduce the price or make something else included in something else you buy. Because so I want to say it's because this is either a new format that they're going with. Well, obviously because they want a lot of people to buy it and play to get them reinvigorated into the saga. But it's kind of like this is like an expansion for them right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what they're going for, 100%.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys. That is the magazine that they've just done. I really want to see one of these every release. I think it's good. Basically, they've managed to take what would be quite... There's a lot more information than just a blog post here, undoubtedly. But they've also lit it in so much extra flavor and fun things that I think it works. I hope they don't run out of ideas and stuff going forwards. They've got a little story recap.
Do you expect them to do this for any of the other releases for the Icebrood Saga, or is it just a one-off for the Saga?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think they should do it for all of them, right?
I think it's unlikely, but
it's kind of hard to tell because at the very top it says September 2019. So you'd love to see another issue a couple of months down the line with a different, but it could just all be in service of the idea. I guess they'll see what the reception is. How many people click it and watch it and read it? How many people watch a video like this? And how is our retention on videos like this and stuff? How interesting actually was this community? If the community really likes it, I think they'd be fools not to do it again. This certainly was cool for me. Better than the release pages they'd been doing. Better, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for coming along, Boots, and sharing this with me. This was very cool.
No
and
problem.
if they do more, you want to do more of these, right? Like, if they do another magazine, we'll sit down and read it together.
Yeah, sure. I mean, how long was this video, by the way?
It's like a podcast about the...
it's like 2 hours long to read 10 pages. Yeah, this is great. Let's do it again.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time. After shooting this, Boots and I had a discussion about things we might like to cut. He told me that he didn't want to cut anything. He wanted me to add a section saying he was the best. So here it is. Boots is the best.